This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Ghimire with the news, the headlines first. Prime Minister Shabada Dewa says current ruling alliance must continue for the defense of constitution and for national prosperity. Remittance inflow increases by 17%, foreign currency reserve grows by 2.5% in first 3 months of current fiscal year. Ministry for Employment urges foreign employment seekers to use online services and avoid middlemen. And Republicans win majority in House of Representatives of the U.S. Congress. Democrats take Senate. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shabada Dewa has reiterated the need for keeping the present ruling alliance intact to prosper the country and safeguard the constitution. Addressing an election gathering in Danelthura yesterday, Prime Minister Dewa said his priority was to lead the country toward the path of development, ending political instability. The Prime Minister also stated that works had been carried out to address the problem in infrastructure development and drinking water. Yesterday itself, Prime Minister Dewa also addressed an election gathering in Baitari district and said the government was committed to constructing the Pancheshwar multi-purpose project. The Prime Minister added that talks were being held with the Indian side to construct bridges over the Mahakali River bordering India. The district administration offices in the Kathmandu Valley have decided to hold vehicular mobility on the 20th of November, that is the election day. A meeting of the chief district officers of the 3 districts in Kathmandu Valley decided to hold the mobility of vehicles except those designated by the Election Commission. Kathmandu's chief district officer Ghanashyam Adhikari said on the election day, transportation services would be stopped from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Likewise, the chief district officers meeting decided to ban alcohol sales for 72 hours prior to the voting day. 46 organizations are observing the November 20th elections. The Election Commission says representatives of the election commissions of 6 countries are also coming to Nepal for election observation. Election Commission's Under Secretary Kamal Bhatrai said officials of the election commissions from India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, the Maldives, Sri Lanka and South Korea are also arriving in Nepal for the election observation. Likewise, the Asian Network for Free Election and the Civic Chamber of the Russian Federation are participating in the election observation as observers from foreign organizations. The country received remittances of 281 billion rupees in the first 3 months of the current fiscal year. This is a 17% rise compared to the remittance inflow in the corresponding period last year. In the review period, the number of Nepali obtaining final labour permits for foreign employment increased by 123%. Likewise, the number of Nepalese renewing the labour permits for foreign jobs went up by 66.2%. Similarly, for the first 3 months of the current fiscal year, the foreign currency reserve has increased by 2.5%. According to the update published by Nepal Rashtra Bank, now Nepal has maintained 1,246,220 billion rupees worth of foreign currency reserve. The Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security has urged all service seekers not to go after middlemen, saying all services related to foreign employment have now gone digital. Issuing a press statement yesterday, the ministry also appealed to service seekers to avail services online from their respective places rather than forming a crowd in the offices related to foreign employment. Ministry's assistant spokesperson Dr. Thaneshwar Bhusal in the statement said the service seekers could make payments online for services they want to use. Assistant spokesperson Bhusal shared that the ministry was monitoring the service delivery in the Department of Foreign Employment and Foreign Employment Offices. The World Bank and the Rural Reconstruction Nepal (RRN) have signed a $4.5 billion grant agreement under the dedicated grant mechanism for the indigenous people and local communities in Nepal project. The agreement was signed between the World Bank Operations Manager for Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, Lada Strelkova, and the RRN President Dr. Arjun Karki amid a function yesterday. The 5-year project will help strengthen the capacity of indigenous people and local communities in Nepal's forest sector to participate in the country's reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation processes at the local, national and global levels for the sustainable management of the forests. 49 wild animals have died in the Chitwan National Park in 4 months. Among those, 28 of them were spotted deer, that is, chitau. Information officer of the Chitwan National Park, Ganesh Prasad Tiwari, said 17 of those animals died in attacks by dogs, some died in road accidents, and some other got stuck in bogs. According to the information officer, 2 one-horned rhinos have died in the national park in the last 4 months of the current fiscal year. 1 died of natural causes, while another died due to electrocution. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Time for a short break now.
भाउजू दर्शन
भाग्यमानी बाबु राम्ररी आइपुग्नु भयो नि
हजुर राम्ररी पुगे उ चाहिँ मेरो कलेजको बेस्ट फ्रेन्ड
नमस्ते भाउजू
नमस्ते आउनु न भित्रै
हुन्छ भाउजू
अनि दादा त अफिस गइसक्नु भयो होला है
उहाँ त बिहानै हो हुन्छ तपाईहरु फ्रेस हुँदै गर्नु न म खाना तयार गर्दै गर्छु है
हस् हस् भाउजू
ओइ वाइफाई होला नि पासवर्ड माग्न
हे त पनि एनटीसी को सस्तो डे प्याक छदैछ नि
ए हो र
एनटीसी को डे प्याक लिन *1415# डायल गर्न
नेपाल टेलिकम राष्ट्रको सञ्चार
You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Now on to some international updates. Republicans have secured the 218 seats needed to win a majority in the lower chamber of U.S. Congress. The party's majority in the House of Representatives is razor thin, but it is enough to stall President Joe Biden's agenda for the next 2 years. It marks a return to divided government, with Democrats still retaining power in the Senate. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump has announced he will run again. Split control of Washington was ushered in by last week's midterm elections, in which the Republicans, who had hoped to win back control of both chambers, underperformed expectations. NATO said a Ukrainian air defense missile likely caused an explosion in eastern Poland. NATO added there was no indication of a deliberate attack or that Russia was preparing offensive military actions against the bloc. Likewise, an Al Jazeera report said the Kremlin had praised Washington's measured response after a missile landed in Poland. U.S. President Joe Biden said it was unlikely that it had come from Russia. Polish President Andrzej Duda also said it was very unlikely that the missile that struck a Polish border village was from Ukraine's air defense. Now some sports update. Nepal defeated the United Arab Emirates by 3 wickets in the second match of the 3-match ODI series. In yesterday's match played at Tribhuvan University Cricket Ground in Kirtipur, Nepal limited the United Arab Emirates to 191 runs. The runs once again 191 runs, taking all wickets in 43.2 overs. In reply, Nepal met the target in 47.5 overs, losing just 7 wickets and winning the match. Now football, Nepal defeated Pakistan in a friendly football match held at Dasarat Stadium yesterday evening. The only goal scored by Nepali striker Anjan Bista in the 83rd minute of the goal became the decider in the match. Bista converted a long pass by Sunil Ball into a goal. This is the 11th international goal of Bista for the national team. Now, the general weather forecast for the country for today, according to the Meteorological Forecasting Division. The weather will be partly cloudy in the hilly areas and mainly fair in the rest of the country. There are also chances of light snowfall at 1 or 2 places in the high mountainous region of the country. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin, but before wrapping up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once again. Prime Minister Shabadu Deva says current ruling alliance must continue for the defense of constitution and for national prosperity. Remittance inflow increases by 17%. Foreign currency reserve grows by 2.5% in the first 3 months of the current fiscal year. Ministry for Employment urges foreign employment seekers to use online services and avoid middlemen. And Republicans win majority in the House of Representatives of the U.S. Congress. Democrats take Senate. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website, www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.